This occurred on 6 separate occasions, and I feel a profound sense of regret about it. I must extend my sincerest apologies to you. Are you suggesting that a young man like Wyatt could only manage one encounter a night with someone as stunning as you? We likely engaged in that activity 3 times each night. Welcome to Addy Story, where we share real-life stories that touch the heart and inspire the soul. Subscribe now to join our community, relax, and dive into the stories we have for you. Enjoy. With a smile on her face, Lila Carver navigated the highway in her BMW, cruising through Wentworth. She expected to arrive home later than originally intended, but she credited it to the familiar traffic congestion in the city. The postponement of their departure felt like a squandered opportunity to her, attributing it to the congestion of Wentworth's roads. Wyatt, nearly a decade younger than Lila, was not just a fantastic lover, but also a remarkable conversationalist. His charm and knack for bouncing back swiftly after close encounters were clear. As she drove away from the city, Lila's mind slowly began to wander from thoughts of Wyatt. Even with his charm, there remained special spots in her heart for Elliot and her daughter Tessa. Lila eagerly anticipated the moments she would share with them, particularly now that her contentment was fulfilled. She recognized her emotions and intended to approach Elliot with patience and affection when she got home. Her smile revealed a sense of having the perfect balance in her life. As Lila stepped into her home, she immediately realized that her husband's pickup truck was absent from the garage, an occurrence that felt both peculiar and unforeseen. This brought about a change in her mood. She longed for Elliot to come back home and welcome her after her extensive journey. Yet, the house stood vacant. As Lila contemplated the whereabouts of Elliot and Tessa, a sudden realization struck her. Her phone had been switched off since dinner. Her mind wandered, oblivious to the fact that no one had reached out to her. She made the choice to power on her phone, stepping back into the realm of reality once more. Elliot took a moment to pat himself on the back for successfully carrying out a straightforward yet clever scheme to delight and astonish his wife. He had been aware of her upcoming conference in Wentworth for months. Lila made her way to see them biannually. By a twist of destiny, this conference coincided with his 20th wedding anniversary. A few weeks prior, Elliot was approached regarding the construction of an expansive vacation residence for a family in Wentworth. After the business segment of the meeting wrapped up, and Elliot felt at ease with the client, Calvin Holt, he shared an idea that had just begun to take shape in his mind. Calvin, next month on the 10th, which is our anniversary, my wife will be at a conference in downtown Wentworth. I want to treat her and her colleague to a lovely dinner at a nice restaurant close to her hotel. To add a special touch, I purchased a pearl necklace that I plan to present to her at the table during dinner. Calvin mentioned that his daughter would take care of organizing this for you. She's attending college now and is well acquainted with all the best spots in the city. She can ensure that the necklace finds its way into your wife's possession. It seems you're hoping for a stroke of luck when your wife returns home. Why not accompany her to Wentworth and present yourself? I've made my intentions clear before, yet Lila maintains that her schedule is too packed to share any moments with me. She plans to have a late dinner and will head back to the hotel promptly to get some rest. The following day, I have commitments to attend to, and it feels rather foolish to journey this distance only to be overlooked, Elliot contemplated. Another idea has come to mind, Elliot added. If I treat your daughter and her friend to dinner, would she be willing to sit at the table next to Lila and share a live video on Facebook with me? I can't wait to witness the astonishment on Lila's face when she unveils the necklace inside the box. I'll provide you with my daughter's number, and you can reach out to her via call or text to sort everything out, Calvin replied. I'm confident she will be pleased to assist in completing this task. Elliot arranged for multiple pizzas to be delivered to his home for a gathering he was hosting to mark his 20th anniversary. He extended an invitation to his parents, Lila's parents, his brother and sister-in-law, as well as Lila's younger divorced sister. Everyone anticipated witnessing Lila's reaction in the moment when he unveiled the anniversary gift to her. Elliot's daughter, Tessa, who is 15, was present along with a group of her friends. Elliot meticulously arranged everything for an immersive experience on the big screen TV. Calvin's daughter will position herself near Lila, careful to avoid raising any doubts. She plans to share videos with me through Facebook Live. She compensated the waiter to ensure the wrapped gift was delivered after Lila and her colleagues who had placed food orders. We'll witness Lila's response as it unfolds live. This is going to be the most wonderful anniversary yet, especially given the distance between us, Elliot said with a joyful grin. I arranged everything to ensure that no sound will come from our end, so please feel free to share your thoughts, including how brilliant my idea was. Who is this individual accompanied by his mother? Tessa inquired as Lila appeared, intertwined with the hand of a striking young man. Didn't you mention she would be with Maris? Elliot confessed that he had no idea who he was. He appears to be quite a good friend. Lila's father let out a disapproving grunt and cast a stern look at Elliot's remark as the couple settled into their seats. The group assembled around Elliot's TV could clearly catch every word of the discussion. The unknown man remarked with a grin, "It's quite generous of your husband to cover our dinner this evening. I will strive to ensure this anniversary is truly memorable. For you, this will surpass even the joy of your honeymoon." "Then you'd better order a steak," Lila said, with a playful grin. "Prepare yourself for the challenge ahead. My honeymoon was unforgettable." "Is that really the case?" the gentleman inquired. "Did you have a romantic partner at that time? Or did your husband truly succeed in making the bells toll?" Lila responded, "Elliot did an excellent job, thank you for inquiring. You've been my sole partner for the past 2 decades, excluding Elliot naturally." Fortunately for me, he began to ease his pace. "The bright side is this. Your 20th anniversary celebration tonight will surpass that of many others. I will handle it." "Perhaps we've witnessed enough, sister," Lila proposed with a hint of anxiety. "This situation lacks fairness. Lila is completely in the dark about what we're engaging with, whether it's a show or some music. Why not switch it off, Elliot? We can't afford to miss Lila's reaction when she gets her necklace, can we?" inquired the resolute yet blushing Elliot. Elliot urged, "Let's observe this unfolding disaster for just a bit longer." As the couple placed their order, the name Lila rang out, clearly addressing her companion, Wyatt. As the first waiter departed with the menu, a second waiter emerged, presenting a beautifully wrapped package. Lila exclaimed in delight as she tore open the packaging. "Look, Elliot must have delivered me a wedding anniversary gift." "Isn't she stunning?" Lila inquired, her gaze fixed on the string of pearls. "Could you secure it for me?" "Of course. Just come a little closer," Wyatt said, gently securing the necklace around her neck. After finishing his task, He swiftly brushed his hands across Lila's chest. Your partner possesses such a charming sense of romance. An elderly woman at the next table commented, You're fortunate to have such a handsome man. Indeed, Wyatt concurred with a smile. She is blessed with a charming husband and a dashing boyfriend. Lila shot a fierce look at Wyatt, yet the older woman merely chuckled at his remark. Last night, I gifted you a pearl necklace, which I believe suits you far better than this, Wyatt teased, bending down to kiss Lila softly on the lips. That's the distinction between a husband and a lover, Lila remarked with a playful smile. Partners adorn us with gems, while passions ignite our desires. Apologies, but I can no longer continue. The enchanting girl with red hair, likely Calvin's daughter, murmured as she switched off her phone. I ought to have halted sooner, yet I was so taken aback that I fell into a state of shock. I deeply regret that things have unfolded like this. I am absolutely going to remove everything from my phone. I must take my leave. The television flickered out, leaving the room enveloped in a heavy, stunned silence. The first to break the silence was one of Tessa's friends. The hour has grown late. It would be wise for us to depart. I'll see you at school tomorrow, if I decide to go, Tessa said, her eyes glistening with tears. Dad, can I head back to my friend's place? I sense a strong urge to be with them at this moment. Absolutely, dear. I comprehend. We'll converse tomorrow. Drive carefully, girls, Elliot urged, his voice barely a murmur from the dryness that gripped his throat. I'm at a loss for words, Lila's mother started. I believe we've secured the victory. Elliot's thoughts on the unfolding events. Lila holds deep affection for you, Elliot, and is prepared to dedicate her life to Tessa. Please refrain from making any impulsive decisions. The other guests at Elliot's gathering mostly echoed these words as they engaged in a hushed conversation about the situation. Following a brief period of serene dialogue, Elliot reached his conclusion. I have a matter to ponder. Please take a moment to find your own path and allow me some time to reflect on my choices in solitude. Once the last person had departed, Elliot retrieved his suitcase and started to organize his belongings. Lila was taken aback by the volume of messages waiting for her and the calls she had overlooked since switching off her phone the night before. As she perused the messages, a wave of despair washed over her. Her sister and mother pressed for answers about Wyatt and questioned the reasons behind her friendliness towards him. They claimed that she had shattered Elliot's heart, and Tessa was equally distressed. Her mother and sister inundated her with at least a dozen messages each. Lila glanced at her messages, hoping to find a note from Elliot, but there was nothing there. In what ways did her family uncover the truth about Wyatt? And to what extent are they truly informed? Where have Elliot and Tessa gone? What steps can she take to escape the predicament she is in? She had to uncover the precise extent of Elliot's knowledge as well as the boundaries of his suspicions. Mom, it's me. Last night, I completely forgot that I had switched off my phone. Lila started with a sense of composure. I noticed you attempted to reach me. Is there anything W? Is that you, Elliot? Only if you believe that the loss of your husband, the estrangement and shame of your daughter, the dishonor of your parents, and the actions of a habitual offender can be seen as a victory. Elliot, I assume it doesn't trouble you significantly. Otherwise, you wouldn't be relishing a stunning pearl necklace from your boyfriend, her mother exclaimed passionately. Lila replied, Elliot gifted me a beautiful string of pearls for our anniversary. What is it about this that should cause you distress? Your father and I have watched our fair share of vintage adult films to grasp what your boyfriend implied when he mentioned you were donning his pearl necklace. Lila's somewhat cryptic mother remarked, "Mother, what leads you to believe I would act in such a manner? What makes you think I have a gut? Don't toy with me." "I'm not foolish," her mother snarled. "Elliot has graciously invited us to witness the unveiling of his 20th anniversary gift at the restaurant. A table has been reserved for you and your colleague. I believe her name was Maris. This entire despicable narrative has unfolded before our eyes. Your husband treats you with the utmost respect and admiration, yet you fail to reciprocate that regard. Jewelry is bestowed by husbands, while climaxes are offered by lovers, if I recall correctly." "Did you catch what I just said?" inquired a stunned Lila. "What makes this feasible?" "Elliot requested a friend's daughter to conduct a live broadcast using her phone. He hoped we would recognize the joy his gift would bring you. Then we were all set to call and extend our congratulations on your anniversary." The mother remarked, with a hint of sadness, "This could very well be your final anniversary, at least with Elliot. Perhaps you'll encounter your favorite boy once the chaos subsides." "Mother, you are aware of my deep affection for Elliot. That other person holds no significance for me. It was merely a way to fill the hours." Lila expressed her frustration, saying these conferences are becoming quite dull. "Oh, this alters the entire situation," her mother remarked with a hint of sarcasm. "Elliot will find comfort in realizing that his wife is not A, and that her actions stemmed from boredom. I take it you forgot your puzzle at home, Mom. There's no point in resorting to name-calling. What strategies can I use to show Elliot that he is the one I truly love?" "You didn't manage to convince me at all, so I think it's safe to say you have some work ahead of you," the mother replied. "Seeing you with that man is truly heartbreaking. I seriously question whether Elliot found it to be an improvement." Following her conversation with her mother, Lila reflected on her circumstances. Every member of her family had witnessed and overheard the conversation she and Wyatt had during dinner the previous night. Reflecting on her discussion with Wyatt, Lila came to understand the severity of her predicament. She made the choice to reach out to Tessa. "Tessa, where have you gone?" Lila inquired as soon as Tessa picked up the phone. "I stand with Morgan. She's attempting to comfort me since my family is split apart," Lila's daughter responded. "We are staying together. I would appreciate it if you could come home so we can discuss this matter together." "Where can I find your father?" Lila inquired with a hint of hesitation. "He relocated to a charming cottage by the lake," Tessa replied. "It seems he may not be interested in seeing you. He felt immense joy last night as he gathered everyone to witness the moment you unwrapped your gift. You nearly shattered his heart when you arrived with your partner instead of Maris." "Please come home," Lila repeated, her mind racing as she searched for the right words to win Elliot's forgiveness. Once her chat with Tessa wrapped up, Lila started to survey the surroundings of the house. She observed that a laptop and multiple filing cabinets had vanished from Elliot's office. The closet in his bedroom stood utterly vacant, as devoid of contents as Hubbard's mother's closet. Lila struggled to hold back her tears as she meandered through the house, observing the absence of various items. Elliot failed to capture even one image of her existence. This reality felt particularly disheartening. Seeking a distraction from her deteriorating marriage, Lila started preparing dinner for Tessa. As Tessa stepped through the door, she had successfully put together a modest meal. Tessa was gloomy and responded to Lila only when directly prompted. Even then, Tessa maintained brevity in her responses. Lila recognized within herself that her daughter had valid reasons for her anger. Yet she held on to the hope that, with time, the animosity would, if not vanish entirely, at least diminish. The following morning at dawn, Lila entered their lake house to discover Elliot sprawled awkwardly and unconscious on the small couch. A multitude of discarded beer cans littered the floor. "Elliot, dear, we must have a conversation," Lila urged. "Please wake up." Elliot gradually peeled his eyes open, letting out a low groan. He slowly rose to his feet and, in silence, made his way to the bathroom. Lila opted to brew a cup of coffee as she patiently awaited her husband's return. A few minutes later, Elliot, freshly showered, returned to the kitchen, where Lila set a mug in front of him. Lila wished for Elliot to take the lead in the challenging discussion, but that wish quickly diminished. It was clear that Elliot was not inclined to engage in any dialogue. "Elliot, I regret that this occurred. My admiration for pearls knows no bounds. It was an extraordinary present that I will forever hold dear. It's unfortunate that I wasn't aware you would share everything with your family." Lila expressed her desire for a conversation, saying, "It would be wonderful if you could share your thoughts on this." All Elliot could say was, "You," his frustration boiling over at Lila's effort to portray him as the abuser. Lila felt a wave of surprise and hurt wash over her at Elliot's response. Throughout their years together, he had always addressed her with the utmost respect. This was undeniable proof of the hurt she had inflicted upon him. "That won't be of any assistance," Lila replied with a composed demeanor. "What steps can I take to resolve all the issues? You are the one and only man I have ever loved. That remains the same. United, we can tackle this challenge. Could you clarify the specific issue you wish to address? The issue lies in the fact that I caught you off guard with an anniversary present and a lovely dining experience, where I reserved a table for you and a companion. The issue is that my client's daughter has consented to share a video capturing your reaction in real time. The issue lies in my assumption that you would value this gift. Please clarify the issue for me so I can grasp what you're discussing," Elliot said with a composed demeanor. Lila was adamant about what the issue was. "Last night you spotted me and Wyatt at the restaurant. I'm aware that you occasionally share dinner with others. What makes you believe that's the issue?" Elliot inquired. "You're fully aware of the reasons this poses an issue. I mentioned I was having dinner with Maris, but the truth is I went with Wyatt instead. You happened to catch our discussion and learned that we were intimate with each other. This is the issue we need to address," Lila confessed, her cheeks flushing. Understanding that her circumstances did not allow for a proactive approach, she clarified, "Just to be certain, is the issue that I, along with your whole family, overheard your discussion, or is the issue that you were intimate with another man?" "The issue lies with my actions," Lila confessed. Her cheeks flushed. "You were simply attempting to show kindness on our special day. You didn't take any action, W. Elliot. All right, we are moving forward. Now please explain why you betrayed my trust without my knowledge. What was the duration and the number of individuals involved in the event?" Elliot insisted. "Is Tessa my natural child? Could it be possible that her father was the postman?" Elliot's provocative question elicited a response from Lila. It's unnecessary to resort to vulgarity or offense. Certainly, Tessa is your daughter. Wyatt has been my sole romantic partner since the beginning of our relationship. Your remark regarding my past relationships and Tessa's father being a mailman was simply unkind. I'm struggling to grasp your reasoning, Elliot replied. You acknowledge your tendency to cheat, yet you assert that there should be a distinction regarding the extent of your cheating. You expect me to be courteous and empathetic, even naive, when you claim to be the beloved of another. Are you feeling a sense of pride for not having strayed from our commitment too frequently? Just curious, how long have you been involved with charming Wyatt, and how frequently do you see each other? These important facts were overlooked when you started to decline the title of city mayor. Lila confessed that this was the third conference they had shared a room at. With tears glistening in her eyes, she started to grasp the profound intensity of Elliot's anger and humiliation. Aside from you, he is the only man I've been with since our marriage 2 decades ago. Elliot mentioned that there will be 2 nights spent together at each of the 3 conferences. Have you ever been intimate with him in any other places? Lila firmly replied, No. This occurred on 6 separate occasions, and I feel a profound sense of regret about it. I must extend my sincerest apologies to you. Are you suggesting that a young man like Wyatt could only manage 1 encounter a night with someone as stunning as you? Elliot inquired. He only had you for 1 night at a time. Who cares? Lila asked, her voice tinged with discouragement. We likely engaged in that activity 3 times each night. Now for the pivotal inquiry, Elliot declared. What led you to be intimate with another man? Was our intimacy so unremarkable, so lacking in excitement, so disappointing that you felt the need to seek out a younger, more fulfilling partner? Absolutely not. In my moments of ennui, he relentlessly sought my attention. I discovered my own fragility. It's not focused on you or our intimate relationship. Perhaps it's just a touch of vanity. Or maybe I'm experiencing a midlife crisis. He holds no significance for me, I promise, Lila clarified. Elliot reiterated, It's evident you were intimate with a man who held no significance for you. Did you engage in intimacy with Mr. Caldwell, the fellow residing down the street who sports those absurd shirts? Absolutely not. I hardly know him, yet I find him utterly distasteful. Lila persisted in her defense. Yet you just mentioned that you share your bed with men who hold no significance for you and whom you don't love. Caldwell embodies that characteristic, so what's stopping you from being intimate with him? Elliot insisted. I never claimed that I sleep with every man who holds no significance for me, Lila clarified, her voice tinged with frustration. I found myself drawn to Wyatt due to his charm, kindness, and accomplishments. He was trailing behind me. Are you suggesting that you would only be unfaithful with attractive, accomplished men who show interest in you? Aside from a handful of these individuals, do you consider yourself a devoted spouse? Elliot inquired. If you don't have feelings for the men you engage with intimately, doesn't that imply you don't have feelings for me? No. I'm expressing that I made a significant error, and it will not occur again, Lila said with conviction. I have deep feelings for you, but my sentiments for Wyatt are quite different. What leads me to this conclusion? Elliot inquired softly. During our wedding and on numerous occasions throughout the years, you vowed to remain loyal to me. You possess a captivating beauty. Attractive, accomplished individuals will consistently seek your attention. Trust is something I find hard to give. I'm unable to provide you with the amazing intimacy you cherish so deeply. Never allow yourself to entertain such thoughts, Elliot. I truly enjoy our intimate moments together. It holds a unique significance and fills me with warmth, Lila replied. What was it about Wyatt that drew you back to him repeatedly? Elliot inquired gently, soiled, worn, unlike a nurturing figure or partner. It was the W. Elliotness that captivated me, not love, Lila confessed, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. What did you do with him, and how? Elliot asked softly. Why does it hold significance? Lila protested, her cheeks flushed. I love only you. I have a matter to ponder. You stand before me, professing your love for me, not him, yet you shared intimate moments with him. Elliot reasoned that it was difficult for him to accept how much more you were willing to do for someone who held no significance to you compared to the person you truly love. It's been quite a while since you've asked me to attend to your desires in that intimate way. I didn't oppose it. I just assumed you had moved on. Indeed, what sort of married man would seek this from his spouse, particularly when she dispenses it so freely? Elliot remembered her words from their honeymoon, declaring that he would be the only man she ever loved. You and Adorable must have enjoyed quite the adventure with me. All that mattered was W. Elliot. He never mentioned you. Lila was adamant, declaring that she would never permit such a thing. It appears you may have overlooked the fact that I was privy to several minutes of your discussion. You allowed this to happen multiple times, and it was quite hurtful to me. Recall how I took my time to ensure that your 20th anniversary would be more memorable than what most wives experience? You didn't raise any objections, did you? What is the purpose of our time spent here? Elliot abruptly insisted. A new connection has emerged. I embrace it. It seems you ought to as well. Why act as if you wish to remain in the marriage? It's clear that our time together as partners wasn't fulfilling for you, and the intimacy we shared left much to be desired. You possess beauty, success, and intelligence, while I feel I contribute little of value. Eventually, you would seek out something more fulfilling. Well done, you've discovered it. Make sure the door doesn't close too hard behind you as you leave. Elliot, we mustn't allow this conversation to conclude on such a negative note. We must talk about everything and discover a path forward, Lila implored with tears in her eyes. Please, feel free to have your attorney reach out to my attorney. Our time together has come to an end, Lila. I have decided to end our marriage. No options were left for me. On that particular day, Lila arrived at work only to encounter an irate Maris in the break room. What was the reason behind Elliot asking me about accompanying you to Wentworth for a conference? It's clear that I ceased my writing after you chose to spend your evenings with Romeo from the Chico office. I refuse to be a shield for your unfaithfulness. Did Elliot reach out to you? And what was your response? Lila expressed the truth with a heavy heart. I missed the last 2 conferences. I thought you mentioned to him that we would be sharing a room and spending time together at the conference. I find it quite unsettling to be treated in such a manner. That issue will be resolved now. Elliot absorbed a wealth of knowledge during this journey. Lila confessed that she believes he is going to divorce her. What alternative result could you anticipate? Maris insisted. No honorable individual could tolerate such a degree of disrespect. I was incredibly foolish and wrapped up in my own world to consider the possibility of Elliot discovering this, Lila admitted candidly. He has departed. Do you really believe there wasn't a decision involved when you spent the night with that unpleasant guy from Ashborough? Maris inquired, with a gentler tone. I regret to hear about Elliot's loss, but I did caution you that this outcome was likely if you persisted in this manner. I assure you, I wasn't the one who informed him, if that's your assumption. I understand, Maris. I must extend my sincerest apologies to you. I took advantage of your friendship. I regret not paying attention to you. I'm not worthy of someone like Elliot. Upon discovering Lila's betrayal, Elliot decided to take a day away from his job. He was resolute in his plan to transfer all his possessions to the lake house before Lila came back. He was unwilling to hear her justifications and explanations for her infidelity. He loathed the idea of existence devoid of Lila, yet he understood that he could never overlook her heartless indifference towards his emotions or her uncertainty regarding loyalty and respect. Her unanticipated arrival the following morning laid bare a vast emotional divide between them. Her silence offered no words to mend the rift caused by her betrayal. He scheduled a meeting with a lawyer for the following day. The following day, he was getting ready to depart the office for a consultation with a divorce attorney when a new email arrived. It came from Lila. He contemplated whether to delve into it or simply discard it. Following a thorough internal discussion, he proceeded to open the letter. In her usual manner, Lila confronted the issue directly. Upon reading her message, a wave of despair washed over him. Elliot, I realize I've made a significant mistake this time. I was foolish to believe that you would remain unaware, and that my choices wouldn't cause you pain. I was W. Elliot. Deceit and betrayal can unravel the very fabric of a marriage, even when one partner remains oblivious to the unfolding drama. You are worthy of far greater things. There has never been a desire in my life as profound as my wish for your forgiveness. Yet I will not question any of your decisions concerning our marriage. I no longer have a say in your decisions. I cherish you and hope for nothing but the best for you. You are an exceptional individual, a devoted partner, and a caring parent. This weighs heavily on my mind. I acknowledge this reality, though I can't help but feel remorse for what I've done to us. Elliot struggled to hold back his emotions as he absorbed Lila's heartfelt confession and her desperate request for forgiveness. She had a tendency to take responsibility for her actions once she had the opportunity to reflect on the situation. She held the position of S.D. Elliot, a person who demands excellence from both those around her and herself. He experienced a profound emptiness and found no motivation to respond to the letter. He found himself at a loss for words. Following that morning, when Lila reached Elliot's lake house, her sole insight into Elliot came from Tessa. On Friday afternoon, Tessa reached out to Lila to inform her that she would be heading to her dad's cabin for the weekend. On Sunday evening, Elliot would take her home. Lila came to understand that this was the path her life would follow. She endured a bleak weekend, reflecting on the many ways she had derailed her life. She was completely at a loss regarding how to rectify her error, uncertain if rectification was even feasible. Had she utterly shattered the joy of her once blissful marriage? As Tessa made their way home on Sunday evening, a sense of melancholy seemed to envelop them. Dad has chosen to end the marriage with you. He cannot coexist with someone who has completely disregarded his worth. This weekend, I witnessed him shed tears on multiple occasions. This is something I've never encountered in my life. Are you aware of the extent to which you upset him? Tessa remarked that your boyfriend is likely much better than your dad. Lila replied, shocked. He's not my boyfriend, and he can't compare to your father. I made a significant error, and I truly wish I could take it back. Your father is the most remarkable person I have ever encountered, Tessa responded, asking for forgiveness from both Dad and herself for their skepticism. This isn't the first time you've shared a bed with this scoundrel, is it? For years, you've been pulling the wool over our eyes, haven't you? Tessa inquired with frustration. Lila came to the profound understanding that the moment had arrived to cease the deception towards her family. I shared a bed with him at 2 conferences prior to the most recent one. It was W. Lila admitted that both she and Elliot were sorry. Was it W? Is that you, Elliot? Wouldn't you agree, Mom, that it's an understatement? Tessa protested with fervor. You have turned against your father in the most unforgivable manner. Didn't you promise to remain loyal when you tied the knot with him? Did you find yourself crossing your fingers at that moment, wishing it wouldn't matter? I understand you're feeling hurt by my actions, but believe me, I'm feeling it even more deeply. Your father is an exceptional individual and an outstanding parent, and you are aware of that. My actions don't imply that I hold him in any lesser regard. Lila confessed with a heavy heart, I made a foolish mistake. As you mentioned, Tessa remarked, and then retreated to her room. Upon Lila's return to work, everything fell back into place. There was hardly a word exchange between her and Tessa. Her lifeline was her work. All else was as it should be, save for the chill in Maris's demeanor directed at her. She attended Tessa's school events, often finding herself seated alone unless her mother accompanied her. This marked the sole occasion she encountered Elliot. He consistently positioned himself at a distance from her, and the other parents swiftly picked up on this behavior. The news of their impending divorce quickly spread. Lila occasionally caught snippets of fathers, whether single or married, making inappropriate comments and suggestions. The whispers of Lila's unfaithfulness had clearly circulated among the townsfolk. Elliot immersed himself in his enterprise. This was the bright side of the entire debacle. The agreement was that Lila would receive 50% of the business. His attorney proposed various strategies that might diminish Lila's stake in the business, yet Elliot remained unwilling to consider them. Without her, our lives would be devoid of anything to exchange. I won't dispute the facts. Lila sat beside me and even contributed a portion of her salary to help us stay afloat when we initially took over the family business, Elliot asserted. Lila felt a wave of astonishment wash over her as her lawyer detailed how Elliot was relinquishing half of his ownership of the business to her. Some years prior, during a challenging cash flow period, Elliot's company was acquired by his closest friend, Gideon. Gideon held a quiet stake, possessing a third of the company. After relinquishing half of his property to Lila, Elliot discovered he was in a precarious situation. He possessed and governed merely a third of the enterprise. Lila urged her lawyer to convey to Elliot that this situation has become overwhelming. He dedicated every ounce of his time and energy to the business. If he is adamant about offering me a portion, please inform him that I consent to 1/10 of our total assets. He will ensure authority remains unchallenged. Elliot was undeniably resolute. As the snow melted in the spring, Lila found herself a single woman once more, now the third owner of Lipton Enterprises. She was unable to persuade Elliot to engage in a phone conversation with her. He entirely removed her from his existence. Lila recognized this as yet another effort by her daughter to inflict punishment, yet she acknowledged that she had brought this disdain upon herself. Elliot, in his own way, was absolutely thrilled. He crafted plans to nearly double the size of the cabin, leveraging his expertise from owning a construction company. He effortlessly wrapped up the construction by the end of July. The property had transformed into a charming 3-bedroom retreat by the lake. Every bedroom boasted its own bathroom and offered a lovely view of the lake. The house was entirely updated and exuded comfort. On the first weekend of August, Elliot welcomed his friends and neighbors to an open house by the lake. Every one of Tessa's friends received an invitation. One of them arrived with an older cousin who caught Elliot's attention immediately. Her blonde appearance was captivating, beautifully enhanced by a simple yet elegant 2-piece swimsuit. Throughout the day, Elliot observed that this girl lingered close to him for the majority of the time. She chuckled at his humor and seized every opportunity to tease him playfully. "So, Dad, are you thinking about slipping into a tiny bikini, Vera?" One day, when they found themselves alone in the kitchen, Tessa inquired. "Absolutely not," Elliot insisted. "She seems to be around 24, and I'm still contemplating whether to dive into the dating scene." "At 26, she appears quite intrigued by you," Tessa said with a knowing smile. "She inquires about the duration of your singlehood, your age, your profession, and all the details that women typically seek in potential partners. I encountered her for the first time today." "I'd rather not hear the word marriage at all," Elliot responded. "I made an attempt, and that sufficed. I'm simply observing that she appears to have some interest. I wouldn't have a problem if you chose to date her. She seems quite lovely, and it appears you could use someone to help you move on from your mother, based on what I've observed. Vera is taking her time when it comes to marriage. It seems she is currently focused on her career, but that doesn't imply she isn't open to engaging with men." "Thank you for shedding light on that," Elliot quipped to his daughter. "This girl is far too captivating to have any interest in someone my age, but I appreciate your confidence in me. Your trust in me means a lot." Stacy's company held the prime real estate, taking up the top 2 floors of an office building nestled in the bustling Ironwood district. At the end of the same block stood a bustling Vincenzo's Trattoria, beloved by many. Every Thursday, she would gather for lunch at that spot with a handful of her colleagues from work. Due to her relaxed approach to lunchtime, she frequently encountered the same individuals sharing a meal at the same hour. Stacy and her colleagues forged friendships with staff from various other businesses situated in their building. On a bustling afternoon, the bistro was packed, leaving Stacy's group without a table. An employee at Carver and Low Advertising, situated on the second floor of her building, extended an invitation to her group to gather at a spacious table. The invitation was swiftly accepted by them. Once everyone introduced themselves by stating their first and last names, the dialogue commenced. A member of the advertising team stood out with her striking beauty and warm demeanor. Stacy discovered that she was relishing the cheerful disposition of the young woman. She beamed as the other ladies started to playfully poke fun at the woman. Not everyone is fortunate enough to have a wealthy friend with a grand home by Silvermere Lake, the woman Stacy referred to as Celine playfully remarked. Waking up to the morning sun shimmering on the lake must be a delightful experience. Indeed, the young woman concurred, particularly when a charming man tenderly strokes my skin. Rising from the comfort of my bed feels like an arduous task. Another woman remarked, if this is the guy who picked you up after work on Thursday, I can understand why it could be an issue. He appears slightly older than you, yet he seems to be in excellent condition. He possesses a full head of hair and has a rather unremarkable appearance. Elliot is everything you could imagine, and beyond, the young woman said, her smile beaming. He's an exceptional person and a truly passionate partner. Stacy's friend promptly posed the exact question that Stacy was reluctant to entertain. Are you referring to Elliot Marwood? Are you familiar with Elliot? The young beauty inquired, before adding, you have to admit, he does look quite handsome. Well, he's a wonderful person, but he was once married to Stacy, according to her colleague. I believe it's time to shift our focus, Stacy urged, leaning closer to the young woman and reaching out her hand, trying to temper the intensity of the moment. My name is Stacy Lipton. Your name eludes me, Vera Hollis. His former spouse possessed striking beauty, yet I suspected he might have been clouded by affection. Vera confessed. It appears he fell short in representing you accurately. I trust this won't cause you any distress regarding my current living situation with Elliot. Stacy responded with sincerity. I really can't hold you or him accountable for that. You possess a captivating beauty and an impressive physique. It's clear to see why Elliot was drawn to you. I find myself curious as to why Tessa never shared anything regarding you. I can't speak for Tessa, but I must express that you have done an admirable job in raising your daughter. She possesses remarkable intelligence, keen attention to detail, and an undeniable beauty, reminiscent of her mother. Vera wrapped up the evening by expressing her fondness for her visits. Stacy inquired of Tessa as they dined together. Why didn't you mention that your father has a lovely girlfriend who moved in with him? This piques my interest. Truly, Mom, I never intended to upset you. Tessa responded, I understand your feelings about Dad. I'm still hurt by the fact that you betrayed him, but I don't want to bring you down because of your poor decisions. Vera treats Dad well. He appears to have found his happiness once more. I must admit, it's quite a relief to learn that Elliot is feeling happy. Stacy responded, saying he's a wonderful person and deserves to be with a woman who loves him, even if that woman isn't her. I don't believe she has a deep love for Dad, but she certainly has a fondness for him. She emphasized that her professional aspirations take precedence for the foreseeable future. I aspire to attain remarkable success in the field of marketing. Are you planning to start dating, Mom? Are you still in contact with your boyfriend from the conferences? Do you believe you can find common ground with him? Tessa inquired. Is that you, Wyatt? Stacy confessed that he wasn't the type of person she would seek in a relationship. He exhibits a lack of depth, displays a hint of rudeness, prioritizes his own interests, and carries an air of vanity. I always viewed it simply as a form of entertainment. It became clear that he created chaos in my life, even though I was fully aware of my actions. It's not fair to hold him accountable for my shortcomings. Do you have your eye on someone? Tessa inquired. You remain stunning. I've observed the way certain fathers and teachers regard you, making an effort to be courteous during school events. Honestly, I believe Elliot has set a standard that no other man can meet, Stacy said with a wistful smile. The cause of our separation is familiar to many in the community. It leads women to feel compassion for your father, while causing men to perceive me as an easy mark. It may have been simple for Wyatt, but I certainly won't make that error again. I simply can't grasp how one could betray their father when there is so much love involved. Tessa felt a wave of astonishment wash over them. He consistently showed you affection and regard. Something went wrong, Elliot. I found myself pondering this question, Stacy confessed. I believe I may have begun to overlook your father's value. I was certain of his love for me, and that certainty filled me with confidence. This led to efforts to pursue another man. Perhaps it was due to the fact that I was aware of a dependable support system waiting for me at home. Elliot was my steadfast support. He was consistently present in my life. I naively thought he would always be by my side. I might have wandered off course, and he would have remained blissfully unaware while my loyal husband stayed at home. I hope you encounter a partner like Elliot when the time comes for you to begin a family, and may my experiences serve as a warning. Always ensure that your contributions in a relationship match what you receive. Embrace loyalty, commitment, and integrity. If there's something on your mind that might jeopardize your relationship, it's important to talk it over with your husband. I demonstrated the consequences that arise from dishonesty and deceit on occasion. Occasionally, Stacy would encounter Vera during their lunch breaks. She found herself unexpectedly drawn to this woman. She felt a twinge of embarrassment as she found herself anxiously awaiting any news about Elliot. Tessa hesitated to share too many details about her father with Stacy. As his daughter, she found herself excluded from certain intimate facets of his existence. Vera openly shared her thoughts about Elliot with her friends. Stacy, it's clear you still have feelings for Elliot, Vera said one day as they enjoyed their lunch together. He never speaks ill of you, yet it's clear that you've deeply hurt him. I'm not here to pass judgment, but I must express that infidelity would never be an option for me in a relationship. I struggle to accept that you would do this. Your words and actions clearly convey a deep love and respect for him. Keep this in mind when the spark of enthusiasm dims and you find yourself immersed in the routine of daily existence. Stacy responded, I lost my way, and it cost me dearly. Love isn't solely defined by passionate encounters and extravagant getaways. At times, it's about figuring out the right moment to service the septic tank or choosing the perfect hue for the house. All things settle into the realm of the mundane, yet that is simply how it is. Elliot embodies integrity in his business dealings, demonstrates unwavering loyalty as a friend, and excels in his role as a father. I will forever hold love for him, yet I have wronged him in the most profound way a partner can. I have gained valuable insight. Maybe I rose a bit too late. Last night, I informed Elliot that I had decided to accept a position in Port Lydell and would be departing in 2 weeks. This is an excellent chance for me. From the start, I made it clear that my career takes precedence, but I can tell that my news has troubled him, Vera remarked. I want to share this with you so you understand what he's experiencing and perhaps offer support if he starts to feel down. He's an exceptionally wonderful person. He's simply not the one for me in the long run. He will undoubtedly feel your absence deeply. Elliot approaches everything with careful consideration. If he has extended an invitation for you to live with him, it signifies that he holds you in great esteem, not just for your beauty, but for the person you are as well. Simultaneously, he holds the position of SD Elliot individual. I put his strength to the test, yet he endured. He has truly made significant progress. Stacy began with a subtle smile. He'll certainly feel your absence, but he's quite the prize, and I wouldn't be surprised if he finds companionship again soon. Indeed, that's the reason I share the information with you first, Vera responded, returning the smile. Your choices regarding it are entirely up to you. A mere week had gone by when Elliot's closest friend and clandestine ally, Gideon, invited Stacy to join him for lunch at the bistro. The room buzzed with activity, yet they managed to spot a cozy little table tucked away in the corner. Following the customary exchanges and pleasantries, Gideon articulated the purpose behind his request for a meeting. Have you heard about the parcel of land that Elliot acquired on Crescent Way, close to the river? A buyer is prepared to offer nearly $2 million for it. Elliot acquired it for a mere pittance. The gains will be substantial. Your share will exceed $500,000. Elliot mentioned that this land is available for purchase and that in the future it will likely appreciate significantly in value. Will he be putting it up for sale? Stacy inquired, curious about her role in the conversation. That's the issue, Gideon responded. He believes that the company would gain more advantages by providing it as a long-term lease. He wants the contract to specify that his company will construct what the tenant requires for their business. That certainly seems like Elliot, Stacy acknowledged with a grin, reflecting on his business-like demeanor and sharp intellect. I have no doubt he has calculated everything, and his strategy will yield greater profits over time. What seems to be the issue? It seems we should consider selling the land for a swift return on investment. While envisioning the future is important, I find myself eager to access the funds in the present. You possess 1/3 of the company. I possess 1/3. We could unite in urging Elliot to accept the offer and subsequently ensure that we receive our portion of the profits. Elliot will be just fine. Well, he could offer $500,000 in cash to smooth over any tensions, Gideon suggested. Stacy's frustration bubbled to the surface as she absorbed Gideon's proposal. Are you suggesting that I should break Elliot's trust? Do you really believe that money holds more significance for me than Elliot's ruffled feathers, as you put it? Allow me to share something with you. Elliot would perceive this as a profound and total betrayal by his wife and closest companion. This is the most misguided action you could take for him, even more so than his wife being unfaithful with a younger man at a conference, Gideon taunted. There's a reason you're no longer together. You have already let him down. He ended the marriage because of your betrayal. Gideon contemplated this as an opportunity for a bit of payback, while also securing a substantial sum of money. A notion of a devoted spouse won't hold up. It's clear that label doesn't fit you. I deceived Elliot, and I acknowledge it, Stacy responded, her anger simmering just beneath the surface. I acted foolishly, and with self-interest, but my intention was never to cause him pain. He surpasses us in every way, and truly deserves business partners far superior to what we can offer. That is the reason I will never betray him again. I would choose to part with my very last cent before causing Elliot any pain. I demonstrated my shortcomings as a wife, and you have shown your failings as a friend and partner. Elliot will oversee my portion of the company for as long as I am alive. Indeed, I will be drafting a new will to ensure that Elliot receives my portion upon my passing. It's important to recognize the strength of his business acumen. Stacy rose with frustration. slamming a bill onto the table to settle her half-finished meal. She gazed deeply into Gideon's eyes. Kindly refrain from attempting to take this as well. Nearly a month had passed when Stacy finally opened the door to find Elliot waiting on the porch. She was utterly astonished. Elliot had meticulously kept his distance from her ever since the morning she came back from the disastrous conference. "Elliot, please enter. All is well. Tessa just stepped out a few minutes ago if you're searching for her," Stacy remarked, taken aback by the thrill she felt at Elliot's arrival in this moment. "I'm here to talk if you have time," Elliot began, stepping into the house that had been his for more than 15 years. "Could you spare me a few moments? If you're occupied, I'll reach out another time." "I'm not busy," Stacy replied promptly, "and I just brewed some coffee." "How about we gather in the kitchen?" "Thank you for welcoming me so promptly," Elliot remarked, lifting his coffee mug. "Your coffee was consistently exceptional. When we first tied the knot, I didn't even have a clue about cooking it." Stacy replied with a smile. "It took me some time to perfect it. My reasons for marrying you go far beyond just the coffee. There were qualities about you that I found far more appealing," Elliot replied. "I've never heard you refer to them as attributes, but I heard you refer to them as Smith and Wesson several times," Stacy remarked, her smile unwavering. "Indeed, you unleashed your strongest tactics, and I found myself unable to withstand your charm," Elliot confessed. Stacy remarked that Vera must have you completely under her spell. "There's an intense energy radiating from her. Your kindness towards Vera is truly commendable. She believes you are an exceptional individual. Your presence here is partly due to her view of you. A few weeks back, one of her friends caught wind of your chat with Gideon during lunch. Vera discussed this prior to her journey to the West Coast. She believes your commitment and integrity have been outstanding. I must concur. Despite how I handled things during the divorce, you still turned down Gideon without hesitation. Numerous women whose marriages ended abruptly might feel a strong urge for retribution, or at the very least, a desire for payback. I could never bring myself to do that to you, Elliot. I understand the dedication you put into your projects and the significance they hold for you. I am confident that you will ensure this land generates significantly more income than what Gideon is anticipating." Stacy determined that he was a fool for doubting you. "Your support means a lot to me. Vera guided me in coming to terms with the reality that you were my partner, despite my tendency to manage the business as if it were solely my own." Elliot stated that he must allow you the chance to share your thoughts and express your desires. If you wish to sell this property and share the profits, I am on board with that. Elliot mentioned that Gideon is attempting to persuade me to sell it. It seems to me that he lacks sufficient funds. He is convinced that by selling this land, we can each walk away with $500,000 from the venture, all while respecting his interests. Are you interested in this as well? Stacy responded with clear pride, suggesting that there is likely a strategy in place for this property that will yield substantial profits for the company while fostering goodwill within the community. Your pursuit was never about immediate gains. I have always aspired to enhance the area while also achieving financial success. Do you have something in mind for this area, perhaps? Elliot confessed that he was in discussions for a long-term lease with General Hospital to establish an emergency care complex on this site. While it may not yield the same profits as the luxury condominium project that Gideon's company is advocating for, it will still generate a solid profit, and we will secure a contract to undertake the construction. This will foster employment opportunities and cultivate positive relationships. Stacy replied with a hint of smugness. I figured it would be something like this. You excel in the business realm, yet you also contribute to the betterment of society. That distinguishes you from individuals like Gideon, who believes in prioritizing quick profits. This perspective doesn't resonate with me. From what I gather, he approached you with his proposal, but you turned him down. I have complete faith in you, Elliot. You never provided a justification for my lack of trust in you. Stacy vowed to stand by your business decisions unwaveringly. It may seem odd given that you already doubt my reliability, yet it's the truth. I was contemplating how Gideon seems to be meddling in your business affairs. I realized that we ought to consider bringing him back. If he lacks the funds, he may be open to a fair proposal. Stacy reasoned that he would find happiness, allowing her the freedom to manage her business in her own way. I've considered it, but I lack the funds to bring it to fruition, Elliot concurred. Stacy proposed that we sell this house. A lovely 2-bedroom apartment is within reach for Tessa and me. Throughout the years, we have gathered a significant amount of resources. The home is nearly fully paid off, and you've undertaken significant enhancements. This will suffice for us to acquire Gideon's share. Now that we've parted ways, this is your place. Are you prepared to part with it and channel funds into the venture? Elliot inquired with disbelief. The timeline for finalizing the deal on the urgent care center remains uncertain. I cannot assure you that your money will be returned in a timely manner, or even that it will be returned at all. Do I appear concerned? Stacy made a witty remark. Remember, I was your spouse for 2 decades. Everything will be returned to you, plus some extra. If, for any reason, you find yourself in doubt, take this action. It's all right. I appreciate it, Elliot. Wealth can never compensate for my lack of respect, but it can certainly distance you from Gideon. I'll agree to this if you come and live in the house by the lake with me and Tessa, Elliot said, and then swiftly added, you will have your own room, complete with a bathroom. It came out quite beautifully. Stacy replied with a heavy heart. I don't believe this will work. It's a matter of personal life, along with the complexities of dating and the inevitable drama that will unfold for you. I apologize. Your social life didn't cross my mind. Elliot expressed his regrets. Naturally, inviting a gentleman into your home while your ex-husband is present, particularly someone like Wyatt, would be unwise. It might feel a bit uncomfortable. I don't go on dates, and I have no intention of starting, Stacy replied. I ceased attending conferences and have not communicated with Wyatt since that unfortunate journey. You will be the one to face the inconvenience. No woman is inclined to share a night with you while your former partner is resting just a room away. If I'm present, it's highly improbable that you'll encounter a woman willing to cohabit with you. While I can't dismiss the idea entirely, I've witnessed women develop feelings for you. I ended our marriage because of your infidelity, and shortly after, I welcomed Vera into my life. I suppose my actions didn't set the greatest example for Tessa, did they? Elliot posed the question with a hint of irony. My sole justification is that I was engulfed in feelings of sadness and isolation. Someone else came into my life and took my wife, leaving my self-esteem in a fragile state. Vera managed to keep it safe for me. I apologize for hurting your self-esteem. I regret that this situation occurred, yet I hold no resentment towards you for your feelings for Vera. She is an extraordinary woman. Stacy remarked that as a single man, you have the freedom to pursue any relationship you desire. I feel like I've never truly expressed my regret for my actions. It was not an outcome of your actions or intentions. This weighs heavily on my mind. I made a significant mistake, and I sincerely apologize for the hurt and trouble I brought upon you. Your actions have caused me a great deal of pain, Stacy. I have always remained loyal. My existence revolves around you and Tessa. Elliot confessed that he transitioned from possessing it all to experiencing a profound sense of failure. Vero illuminated the fact that, although I might not have been the ideal husband, I wasn't the cause of your infidelity. You might have shared your feelings about our marriage, our intimacy, or any concerns you had. Had I been aware, I would have endeavored to improve my efforts. I was merely foolish, not discontent. Stacy remarked that you were an exceptional husband, a wonderful father to Tessa, and a passionate lover. I have strayed from my path and feel I deserve this sorrow. It may seem odd, but my unhappiness brings me a sense of joy. I sense that I'm bearing the weight of my past mistakes. Perhaps you might consider visiting the house by the lake. Inquire with Elliot. I would love to present it and hear your thoughts. I incorporated several of the concepts we've explored together over the years into the reconstruction. I believe you'll find this acceptable. Tessa is gearing up for a volleyball match in just 2 hours. Is it possible for me to utilize this offer at a later date? Stacy inquired. Let's examine it prior to the match. Elliot proposed that we could go there together, and then I will leave you here. Do you worry that others might assume we're rekindling our relationship if we attend as a pair? Stacy observed that you typically position yourself at the greatest distance from me. Sure, I may have been difficult, but I believe it's important to consider that you chose to leave our marriage. You can't really expect me to be friendly towards you, Elliot remarked. In truth, you showed me a level of kindness that I doubt I would have reciprocated had the roles been reversed, Stacy confessed. The settlement offer you presented was overly generous. We are both aware of it. It seems that kindness is yielding results, Elliot muttered. We're considering selling the house to buy out Gideon's share. I still struggle to accept that you're prepared to take this step. Truly, Elliot, feel free to take whatever you desire from my belongings. Your honesty with me has been unwavering, Stacy remarked. I understand you won't hurt me, even though I might deserve it. I'd like to take you to see the lake house, Elliot proposed, to shift the focus and allow himself a moment to regain his composure. As Elliot guided the tour of the house, Stacy took in the impressive renovation with keen appreciation. Your work was truly impressive. Tessa's room is quite spacious, and it features its own bathroom. This is what every teenage girl dreams of, Stacy remarked. As Elliot guided Stacy through the second bedroom, she sensed it was the moment to address the unspoken issue lingering between them. The room is delightful, featuring yet another stunning bathroom. But I must decline, Elliot. Seeing you every day will bring too much pain, as it will remind me of what I've lost. We will put the house on the market, and I will find an apartment to rent. I will be okay. Stacy mentioned that we need to head out shortly for Tessa's match. Allow me to present the master bedroom, Elliot insisted. She stands out among the others. I'm confident you'll enjoy it. She possesses a captivating beauty. You did an exceptional job as always, Stacy remarked, surveying the bedroom. Your business thrives for this very reason. Your attention to detail is remarkable. Would you choose to remain with me and Tessa if you had this space? Elliot inquired with a cutting tone. I would still see you every day, and I don't think I could bear it, Stacy replied with a heavy heart. I didn't mean to imply that she would belong to you alone, Elliot said, his voice tinged with anxiety. I considered the possibility of us sharing it. Stacy arched her brows, examining Elliot's expression. Are you suggesting that I join you in your bed? From the moment I discovered your betrayal and walked away, I've been feeling terrible. There are moments when the ache of missing you becomes almost unbearable. You really messed up, but I was involved with Vera for months. This dulled the sting of your betrayal somewhat, yet it remained unchanged. I ponder whether we can move past all this turmoil and attempt to reunite once more. I refuse to be your prey, Stacy replied with conviction. If you seek to impose further consequences, I will not comply. If I decide to share a home with you, my commitment will be unwavering, and I hope for the same in return. No more youthful charms in your embrace. It will be solely my presence, or I will vanish without a trace. I have put in significant effort to restore my self-respect, and I am determined to uphold it. I care deeply for you, Elliot, but it's essential that you fully commit, or I will have to walk away. Tessa couldn't believe her eyes when her parents strolled into the gym, linked together at the arm. She rushed over to speak with them, ensuring that no one else could overhear. Mother, Dad, does it mean that Tessa started? But Elliot smiled and nodded before she could complete her question. Tessa embraced her mother tightly, whispering softly into her ear. Welcome back, Mom. I care for you deeply, but please don't betray Dad's trust again. Thanks for watching this story on Addy Story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new tale. Stay tuned for more, and until next time, take care and keep living your own amazing stories.